You know this fight. You've probably had it yourself. One person offers what they think is a clear gesture of affection, and the other person recoils like they've just been insulted. Traditional advice suggests this is a clash of communication styles or mismatched love languages, like gifts versus acts of service. But personality tests rarely explain why we become unrecognizable versions of ourselves under stress. This shift points to a deeper architecture, a human braining framework that governs how the mind instinctively orients to reality and seeks safety when the world becomes uncertain. When that fight loops for the 100th time, you are hitting a structural limit. Two different operating systems are attempting to resolve a conflict using incompatible logic, and the original intention is being lost in translation. You are speaking a cognitive language that your partner was never taught to hear. The words might sound familiar, but the underlying logic is foreign. The system identifies three distinct orientations. The B-brainer's vocabulary focuses on meaning, identity, and resonance. They prioritize internal alignment over external milestones. To a B-brainer, visibility is oxygen. Look at the theatrical reinventions of Lady Gaga. These aren't random costume changes. They are a drive to ensure her outer expression remains authentically aligned with her inner truth. Then there is the do-brainer. Their compass points towards action and momentum. They solve problems through forward movement rather than stationary analysis. This type processes the world by testing ideas against reality. Elon Musk's relentless drive to build and iterate illustrates a mind that finds clarity only through immersion and impact. Finally, the half-brainer operates on a vocabulary of structure, consistency, and loyalty. They stabilize the world by honoring rituals and establishing predictable systems. They transform chaos into order. Mark Zuckerberg's approach to systemic scaling reflects a mind that seeks safety through reliable frameworks and measurable results. All three types seek success and love, but their underlying blueprints define those goals in ways that often collide. This matrix maps the structural physics of how these blueprints intersect in a relationship. These same type intersections are mirror pairings. They experience immediate harmony, but because they share the same blind spots, they tend to collapse at the exact same moment for the exact same reason. The friction intensifies in cross pairings. Match a B-brainer with a do-brainer, and the B's need to find meaning appears as stalling to the do. Meanwhile, the do's drive for immediate action feels reckless to the B. A B-brainer might plan an extravagant, chaotic surprise as a romantic gesture. For a have-brainer partner, that broken routine feels like a terrifying loss of safety. In these moments, the behavior one partner intends as love is structurally received by the other as an abandonment of their core needs. When this translation effort fails repeatedly, the relationship's structural load capacity breaks. The mind defaults to its most primitive survival reflex. The B-brainer withdraws into absolute silence, dissociating from the connection. The do-brainer accelerates into compulsive motion, burning out through frantic activity. The have-brainer locks down, policing the relationship with rigid rules and micromanagement. Relationships rarely end in a single explosion. They slowly hollow out as the underlying cognitive logic of both partners becomes exhausted. Human braining suggests that compatibility is a structural practice. It requires ongoing calibration rather than being a static property you simply find in another person. Surviving a mismatched pairing requires you to learn the language your partner's blueprint requires, moving beyond your own native vocabulary. When conflict begins, move past the default question, "Why are they doing this to me?" Shift your focus to the question that initiates a real translation. What is this person's mind trying to protect right now? Stop asserting your truth with force. Choose a language that makes your partner feel undeniably safe. That is the final goal of the map.